Can I get one response so that I can start the class?
Sir, you can start now, sir.
Okay, sir.
Sir,
So recording la undi sir adi?
sir, recording on చేశాను sir.
Okay,
May
sir.
continue.
Thank you. Thank you.
Sir.
Yeah, good morning, everyone. The topic for today's session is VLSI design flow, NMOS inverter, and the enhancement mode and depletion mode transistors. So in this session, we'll be discussing about how does the VLSI design flow goes on right from the specification part to the foundry, and then the physical integrated circuit. And later we'll study about what is meant by enhancement mode transistor, depletion mode transistor, and after that specifically we'll study about what is NMOS inverter and how does it works, and what are its different types of designs, how the NMOS inverter design can be used in order to design different logic circuits. And after that we'll try to even see the stick diagrams of all those NMOS inverter circuits. So let us start this session. VLSI design flow. So this is the VLSI design flow, where you can see that firstly the VLSI design flow starts with a system specification. System specification, it means that here in the system specification you'll be getting the specification of the design, how the design has to be conducted and how the design has to be proceeded in order to go through all the next steps in the hierarchy. It means that here, let me take if I need to design a full adder. Full adder means definitely I need the full adder can be designed either by using two half adders, or else it can be designed by using logic gates. So depending upon the specifications which the client gives to the manufacturer, the manufacturer will try to design that one as per the requirement of the client. So this is regarding the specification. If I talk about the amplifiers, for amplifiers, if I need to design an amplifier, definitely the client will give us some specifications such as that he needs the amplifier with so and so gain, and what should be the noise characteristics, how the noise should be there, how much minimum noise it should be there, and again what should be the amplitude and frequency. All the specifications will be given to the design engineer. So the design engineer will follow that specification, and he will try to design the particular circuit which is given to him. So that category, it comes here is a specification. This is about specification. So this is regarding the specification. The next one. The next part is once if you get the designer gets the specification, he'll try to do it in three different ways. First one, either he can go with the coding part. He can write a program. He can program that particular specification by using the VLSI programming languages such as HDL languages, which is again of two types: VHDL, very high speed integrated circuit language, and again Verilog HDL can be used. Any one of this one, these two languages will be used, or else nowadays we are more specified and more advanced language such as system Verilog has also come into picture. So now by using this languages, they'll try to design this one. So this is an example of that entity test. This is entity. We know that this entity, it starts with what? For the VHDL programming. If you ask for me for Verilog, the Verilog syntax will be starting with the module. So this is the syntax for the VHDL program. So you can either write once you get a specification, you can either write the program using the VHDL or Verilog languages. And after that one, we'll look into the functional design and logic design. We'll try to test that program, whether it's working as per the requirement or not. That is regarding this one, functional and logic design. And in Xilinx, you might have even seen that once if you write the program, we can even extract the RTL schematic of that particular program. And that RTL schematic, if you have worked upon the Xilinx, you'll be having an idea about how the RTL schematic looks like. This is a RTL schematic of a particular program which you have written. So this is a program which you have written in the VHDL, and for that program, we'll get an RTL schematic. So this is regarding the functional design and logic design, and later will be the circuit design. And all the two parts will be regarding this RTL design. So once if you get this uh, done with this three steps, we can go for the physical design. The physical design is regarding how a particular component, like if I talk about inverter, here if an inverter is there, then I need to talk about how each and every transistor will be placed, where it has been placed. And those things comes over here. And this is regarding, say, whichever you find here, this black dots, this is called as a boundary scan technique will be used. We'll be using the pads over here, input and output pads will be there, and at last we'll be using the boundary scan technique in order to find whether the circuit and the programmed design is correct, it's working correct or not, whether it is completely error-free or glitch-free circuit or not. So this is a design of a physical design. In the physical design, as we have discussed in the previous lectures, that these are the main important points. The first one is a partitioning. You are supposed to partition the integrated circuit which is given to you such a way that in a very efficient way you should partition it so that the maximum number of components can fit in that particular smaller area. This is regarding partition and floor planning. Floor planning is about how to place and how to adjust the transistors or the components in the place which has been partitioned. Then regarding the placement, and here placement, you are supposed to place each and every component very carefully such that the minimum spacing has been taken by the design, and also all the interconnects and all the connections between the components will be very well connected. So this is regarding the partitioning, floor planning and placements. After that, we'll look for the clock tree synthesis. This is regarding the clocking network. Clocking network, when you supply a clock, then depending upon the clocking network, only the input and output signals will be functioning. And that part comes over here regarding the clock tree synthesis. Then later the signal routing. Signal routing is nothing else but it's a wiring connection, wiring part. So we are supposed to connect each and every wire carefully such that the signal can easily move from the input module to the output module. And last will be the timing diagram or the timing analysis, where you will be obtaining the final output once the physical design has been done. If this has been completed, we'll go for the verification part, the physical verification and sign off. Physical verification is like it's a validation. You're trying to validate that okay, this particular design is correct, and we can send this design to the foundry for fabrication part. In this physical verification, you'll be having the DRC. It's like a design rule check, and here layout verification schematic, layout versus schematic. ERC is electrical rule check. So these are the three different kinds of verification where you can will be looking into this particular design, and mostly we'll be using this DRC, LVS and DRC with respect to RTL programming, and also with respect to the layout designing. Whenever it comes to the layout, this design rule checks will tell us about whether are you missing any kind of lambda rules or not. If there is any inoperate diagram of the layout layer, then that this particular DRC will tell us that okay, this particular layer is not properly designed as per the lambda rule. You're supposed to check that one, and we should correct that particular layer. So this is what the DRC tells. It's a design rule check. The next one is a LVS. LVS is a layout versus schematic. Once if you draw the schematic, for that particular schematic, the layout will be designed, and both the input, both the output characteristics of the schematic has to match with the layout characteristics. If both are same, then only we'll get a check mark so that we can proceed for the next one. Electrical rule check, where this is a final step which will validate that this particular design is correct, and we can go for the foundry for fabrication part. The next one will be the fabrication part. This fabrication is nothing else but we have seen different kinds of fabrication techniques are there in VLSI, like it starts from the BJT, then CMOS. In CMOS, we have studied about what is meant by PMOS fabrication, NMOS fabrication, CMOS fabrication, and BiCMOS fabrication. So by using any of this fabrication, we can design that particular integrated circuit. See here, you can see that this entire thing we call it as a die. On that particular die, only one one particular slot will be given to us. Only one particular slot will be given to us. So in that particular slot, only our integrated circuit will be designed, and all the other slots will be the slots which will be given for another integrated circuits or another designs in order to develop the integrated circuit of this one. It doesn't mean that the entire die will be used for only one particular design. This one particular block will be used for one integrated circuit or one design. So that particular space will be the space which will be used for our own design, or which are the design which we give to the foundry. So that's how the fabrication process goes on in the foundry. Then once the integrated circuit has been designed, then the packaging comes into picture. Packaging, it talks about manufacturing of the chip, and it talks about how it has to be protected, and how it has to be preserved from the environmental hazards and all those things. Once if the packaging is been done, and also it talks about the pin arrangement also. Packaging, it talks about the pin arrangements of the integrated circuits. Once if it is done, then last they go for the testing part. They look for whether the integrated circuit which has been designed is correct or not, or it is producing the same amount of output which the client has given to us. As per that arrangement, this particular testing will be going on. If the testing is if it produces the same output or approximately 90 more than 95%, then we can validate that one as an integrated circuit, and they'll release it into the market. That's how the integrated circuit or the chip will be designed. So this entire diagram tells about what is meant by VLSI design flow. How an integrated circuit is been manufactured or designed right from its basic part. Right from its basic parts, it means that it is designed from its design specifications to the integrated circuit. Here, one of you has asked me what is meant by LVS. It is a layout versus schematic. It's a layout versus schematic. So this is regarding the VLSI design flow. The next, layout versus schematic. The full form of LVS is layout versus schematic.